in a few steps here, I'm going to guide you through how to calm yourself down, how to talk yourself off the ledge, how to bring yourself into your body, how to ground in the moment, how to set that foundation for peace and ease so you can feel full inside. We are so trained as human beings to deny our emotional experience, especially when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's unpleasant. We want to shake it off. We want to pretend it's not there. We want to move on, or maybe we want to numb it, escape from it, medicate it, whatever your way of operating is. It's not going anywhere. If you can seal off your practice with I'm safe, I'm loved, right here, right now, then you'll notice how you can ground and land in the moment and stay in your body and feel the difference, feel the shift. For tonight, and we're going to talk about two things that really kind of work together. We'll talk about how to regulate your nervous system and essentially how to ground and how to move into a place of inner peace. Okay. And this can be accessible at any moment, at wherever you are, whatever the circumstances are in your life. You can develop your capacity to pause, take a deep breath, and become aware of what's being triggered so that you can take responsibility for the quality of your state. This tool is so important. It's so important for all of us because, as I talked about last week, everyone is dealing with some degree of fear, whether it's the fear of missing out or the fear of being abandoned or the fear of making a mistake or the fear of not getting what you want or the fear of failure, whatever your fear is, whatever that looks like for you. And so we deal with this on a moment-to-moment basis as human beings throughout the day, especially those of us that are stuck in 3D reality, that don't have a relationship with our higher self, with source, with God or universal intelligence, whatever your frame of reference for that is. And so when we're dealing with fear, how do we come out of that so that we can relax and find that place of inner peace in the moment? Now, why is it so important? Obviously, inner peace is worthwhile as a goal in and of itself. Just to have peace in any moment, to be able to be the calm in the storm, is such a powerful, powerful tool to have. And also why it's very important is because it's a foundational work for things like listening to your intuition, channeling universal intelligence, and manifesting the life that you deeply desire. Okay, so we can't have access to higher realms. We can't really move past 3D, past the moment, past living in the regretting the past and anticipating the future sort of way of operating. We can't move past that when we're triggered, when we're anxious, when we're in some kind of reactive state. And all reaction, as I've talked about many times, is an expression of fear. If we're in a reaction, doesn't matter what that secondary emotion the root cause of that is always fear. Okay, so again, we want to just in a few steps here, I'm going to guide you through how to calm yourself down, how to talk yourself off the ledge, how to bring yourself into your body, how to ground in the moment, how to set that foundation for peace and ease so you can feel full inside. All right, it's kind of like foundational work, especially for manifesting. Okay, so I was telling this story to Lorraine just before coming on, and I think I've shared it in a video before, but I love to use this analogy for those of you that are manifesting. It's like, imagine going to the grocery store when you're hungry, right? When you haven't eaten and you're starving and you're just kind of in a panic and you're rushing and you're grabbing for all the things and you're not really thinking or really feeling into what your body needs. You're just kind of, grabbing whatever's accessible and, of course, perhaps snacking along the way. And by the time you get home, you realize that you've got, bags full of stuff that, you wouldn't buy or you don't really want or you don't really need. Okay. So it's really important when we come to our spiritual practice, especially when we come to the process of manifesting, that we enter into a state of feeling satiated, feeling full, feeling at peace and grounded, which is the tool that I'm talking about. We're going to walk through here in a moment. And so that you can envision a life that feels accessible, that feels good to you in your body, that feels, natural, that feels like uplifting and conjures up more positive emotions in your body. Okay. This is so, so, so important. We want to come to our practice feeling that state of fullness, even if we're not specifically focusing on manifesting. Perhaps you're just focusing on, working through your triggers so you can have peace. You want to be able to fill your own cup in that moment so that you can relax, ground, and feel the benefit of what it means to have your just your nervous system slow down and breathe and just trust that you are safe, you are protected, you are provided for in the moment. Okay, so oftentimes when people come for readings, the questions are usually coming from a sense of urgency, a sense of I don't know, a sense of I'm disconnected, a sense of suffering, can you please help, that kind of thing. And so I always start every reading with a grounding practice, just a few minutes of deep diaphragmatic breathing together so we can connect to each other. We can just land in the moment and allow for a much bigger process to take over, which is the channeling process, which is what I do here live every night. And it's what I do in my readings. Okay. So if you haven't booked a reading yet, if you are new to this channel and you're just kind of curious and checking it out, as I mentioned, please feel free to put your question in the chat. Also, you can book a reading with me. There is the link to book a reading right there. There is a special we're doing for the summer for 30 minutes. You can book a 30-minute deep dive, especially if you want to be in a private one-to-one setting. That's a good opportunity to do that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to talk about how to regulate our nervous system. Okay. So taking the first thing I do when I feel triggered, okay, is I pause. Okay. So this is just, it's the awareness is a muscle that we can develop over time where we're like, oh, I feel triggered. I feel angry, or I feel upset, or I feel afraid. Okay. Whatever the trigger is, it can even be sadness. Okay. So just being aware of this trigger that happens in the moment. I call it a trigger because it's just like, it's exactly what the word means. It brings up a whole bunch of unpleasant feelings. Okay. So just to be aware that there's a trigger, and then pausing. So don't say another word. Don't do another thing. Take a moment to sit down. If the moment is, if the environment you're in is appropriate and allows for that, take a moment to sit down and take some deep diaphragmatic breaths. That's big belly breathing. Okay. This is so foreign, unfortunately, for so many people. And it's the way that we naturally breathe as children. And babies breathe diaphragmatically. They breathe in and out of their bellies because they haven't learned stress yet. They haven't learned anxiety yet. They haven't learned how to breathe shallow to suppress their deeper emotions. They haven't learned the fight or flight response yet. This comes later with the conditioning process. Okay. So if you pay attention to a child, you can see that they're in their diaphragmatic breath. So this process is actually retraining you to breathe that way according to your natural essence. This is how you would naturally breathe when you're calm and connected and grounded grounded in your body and connected to source, feeling at peace and feeling calm. Okay, so breathing into the belly, breathe in, belly out. Exhale, let the belly drop naturally. So do 3 of these breaths at home right now if you want, just breathing in and out. Big belly breaths. Notice the energy already shifting in your body. Notice how you already feel calmer, more grounded, more centered, more capable of really being with whatever's happening, whatever the situation is, whatever the urgency is, whatever the circumstances are. There's a greater capacity to process the events of your life when we are regulated. Okay, so this is all it takes is a couple of deep diaphragmatic breaths. The next step I want you to do is to just put your hand on your heart. You want to give yourself unconditional love and compassion. We are so trained as human beings to deny our emotional experience, especially when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's unpleasant. We want to shake it off. We want to pretend it's not there. We want to move on, or maybe we want to numb it, escape from it, medicate it, whatever your way of operating is. It's not going anywhere. Okay. So even if you avoid the feeling, it's just going to keep coming back and keep coming back and keep coming back until it creates neuroses and eventually disease in the body. Okay. So we want to be able to sit with our uncomfortable emotions, give ourselves unconditional love and compassion. Meet yourself with love and compassion. Okay. This is so, so, so important. There are times when I'm doing intuitive work where I'm rushing or I'm late or I feel nervous or I feel, whatever the day has unfolded for me. I'm a human being. So, things come up. I get triggered too. I regulate my nervous system using this technique, and this always grounds me, and it allows me to create a foundation where I can connect with spirit and channel messages with accuracy, with compassion, with love, and with non-judgment. Okay, so it's very important to ground, give yourself lots of love and compassion and non-judgment. Most of the time we suffer because we're judging ourselves. We're judging ourselves for the feelings we're having rather than just letting them be what they are. Okay, so again, love and compassion, and then take a moment to just scan your body and ask yourself, what is it that I'm afraid of? because the root of every reaction is fear. So what is it that I'm afraid of? Is it the fear of abandonment? Is it the failure? Is it loss? Is it, it can be a whole litany of things, too many to list here, but I'll let you do your own homework and just really check in with yourself to see what is it that I'm afraid of, okay? And from there, continuing to breathe diaphragmatically throughout the process, okay, I want you to take that next step in self-awareness and ask yourself, what do I need most in this moment? Is it reassurance? Is it, is it perhaps it's a positive affirmation, or perhaps it's something that you might need in that, whatever you might need in that moment to help you fill your own cup. Okay, so maybe it's some positive self-talk, or perhaps it's a conversation with a friend who loves you, someone you can trust. Okay, perhaps you need to talk about something or journal something. Okay, so whatever it is you might need in that moment. And then I want you to seal off this practice with, I am safe. I am safe and loved right here, right now. If you can seal off your practice with, I'm safe, I'm loved right here, right now, then you'll notice how you can ground and land in the moment and stay in your body and feel the difference, feel the shift. All we've done was go into the trigger. We went into the moment. We felt our way through it. We took some deep diaphragmatic breaths. We created some space between how we're feeling and what we're going to do about how we're feeling by creating that awareness, pausing, meeting ourselves with compassion and love, and then identifying what our fears are so that we can get to the root of the trigger, because it's never about what's happening. What's happening is usually just bringing up a fear that's been there your whole life. Okay, so this is so important. We're never reacting to the circumstances. The circumstances always point to a deeper wound that needs attending. And chances are it's a wound that's been showing up over and over and over again in some area of your life, if not all the areas of your life. Okay, so this is deeper work. I'm just offering you sort of an overview of it at the beginning of Oracle Hour. We can go deeper in this, and some of my videos and my YouTube channel, I talk more about doing inner work and regulating our nervous system going into this process. And then we want to close out our practice by just doing some deep affirmations and grounding in the moment, and really checking in with ourselves to make sure that we feel safe and grounded. Now, once the energy has shifted and I feel like grounded, I feel like I'm in my body, I feel present, I feel like I can process the events of my life. From here, I can focus in on visualization. I can manifest. I can, have conversations with people from a calm place. I can trust myself to operate in ways that are peaceful and that are conducive to the thing that it is that I'm trying to manifest. They're conducive to my wellness, and they allow for me to make good conscious choices, which is what we want. Okay, so I hope this is helpful for those of you that are struggling, a sense of urgency, sense of fear. Perhaps you're suffering. There's something you're struggling with in your life. I invite you to just do this practice, to just really pause, rewind, go back and watch from the beginning, and just really feel into your body. The only way out of fear is through personal self-responsibility. Okay, things can happen. You might get some good news. You might get a positive, reading, or something uplifting might happen, or something encouraging might happen in your life. But those little boosts of reassurance are temporary. Okay, they're just temporary, especially if you've got deeper wounding, deeper trauma in your life that you're carrying around. Okay, so it's just a matter of time before it gets triggered again. So learning to regulate your nervous system and breathe diaphragmatically and go deep within yourself and do this process is really going to help you gain that foundation of inner peace, so that you can manifest the life you love. You can develop your intuition. You can tune into universal intelligence and be able to receive your own guidance from a place of feeling really grounded. Thank you for watching this clip from Oracle Hour. Join me live every Wednesday and Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, where you can get your questions answered too. And if you can't wait that long, or you prefer to be in a private setting, then click the link in my description and book your session with me today. I look forward to holding space for you.